All right, let's get right into it. We are talking about what is probably one of the biggest, most complicated upgrades in the entire history of the internet. It's called post-quantum cryptography. And look, this isn't just some software patch. It's a complete, from-the-ground-up rebuild of how we trust anything online.
Just think about it for a second. What if every secure message you've ever sent, every bank transaction, every single government secret could suddenly be cracked wide open? This isn't some far-off sci-fi plot. It's the very real possibility that is forcing a complete reinvention of our digital security.
And here's why this is so urgent. The threat isn't in the future, it's happening right now. It's a strategy called harvest now, decrypt later. Basically, adversaries are stealing huge amounts of our encrypted data today and just sitting on it. They're creating this ticking time bomb that they plan to detonate the second a powerful quantum computer comes online.
So our whole digital world is protected by these, well, they're basically just really, really hard math problems. Problems that would take the computers we have now thousands of years to solve. The trouble is, for a quantum computer, they're actually pretty easy. And that means our current standards, things like RSA and ECC, will basically just melt. They'd be about as useful as a chocolate teapot.
And this is the culprit. It's called Shor's algorithm. It was actually published way back in 1994, and it's the master key that makes quantum computers so incredibly dangerous to our current systems. It is specifically designed to shatter the very mathematical foundations that protect almost all of our secure communications.
So the threat is clear. It's huge. But the good news is, people saw this coming. And that kicked off this massive global effort to forge a whole new generation of defenses, to build a new foundation for digital trust from scratch.
And that brings us to post-quantum cryptography, or PQC for short. The goal was to find completely new types of math problems, ones that are incredibly hard for both our current computers and future quantum computers to solve. And here's the real breakthrough. These new algorithms don't need new hardware. They run on the computers and phones we already have.
So how do you find these new super strong algorithms? Well, the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, basically started a cryptographic Hunger Games. Kicking off in 2016, the smartest people from all over the world submitted their best ideas, and then they spent years just trying to break each other's work. It was this global race that finally, in 2024, gave us our first official standards.
And you know, in any good competition, there's gotta be some drama. And boy, did this one deliver. There was this one leading finalist called Psych. It looked like a total sure bet. People loved how efficient it was, and it was on the fast track to becoming a new global standard.
And then, the whole thing just fell apart. A devastating attack was published that completely, totally broke Psych. And get this, it didn't even need a quantum computer. A regular, single-core desktop machine, the kind of thing you might have at home, could do it in less than a day. It was a completely shocking, spectacular failure.
But here's the crazy part. That spectacular failure was actually a massive success. The public competition did exactly what it was designed to do. It found a catastrophic flaw before that algorithm was put into everything we use. This whole process is exactly why we can actually trust the algorithms that made it through to the end.
Okay, so we had the new locks. The competition worked. We're safe, right? Well, not so fast. Now comes the truly monumental task, actually changing every single digital lock in the entire world.
You see, these new PQC standards come with a pretty big trade-off. Their security keys are just a lot bigger. And that might not sound like a huge deal, but it creates very real performance problems. It can slow down websites, strain your network, and affect everything from smart devices to massive data centers. And the challenges go way deeper than just software. This whole migration means replacing physical hardware, updating the core protocols of the internet itself, but maybe the biggest headache of all, most organizations don't even have a complete list of where all their old crypto is running. It's a logistical nightmare.
So how in the world do you manage a transition that's this risky and this messy? You do it with something called a hybrid approach. Basically, for every secure connection, systems use both an old, classic algorithm and a new PQC one at the same time. It gives you immediate protection against that harvest now, decrypt later threat, while also giving you a safety net just in case a flaw is found in the new crypto.
And this whole experience, especially the SIK failure, taught the security world a huge lesson. It led to this really important new strategy called crypto agility. The idea is that we can't just set it and forget it anymore. The goal now is to build systems where we can swap out cryptographic algorithms easily so we're always prepared for the next threat, whatever it might be.
So in the real world, security leaders are all pushing a pretty clear four-step roadmap. It starts with something as basic as just making a list of all your existing crypto. From there, you plan the migration, then you start implementing the new standards, focusing on your most important data first, and finally, you make that idea of crypto agility part of your organization's DNA.
Let's zoom out for a second, because this migration is so much more than just a technical project. It is actively reshaping geopolitics and creating massive new economies.
We are absolutely in a new kind of arms race. The nation that builds a powerful quantum computer first gets a massive intelligence advantage. And the major powers are all taking different approaches. You have the US, which is really betting on its private tech sector to innovate. Then you have China, which is orchestrating this enormous state-funded national push. It's a whole new frontier for global competition.
So who should be losing the most sleep over this harvest now, decrypt later threat? Well, it's anyone who handles data that needs to stay secret for decades. We're talking national security secrets, financial data, your healthcare records, and super valuable intellectual property. For these sectors, this transition isn't just a good idea, it's an existential necessity. And, of course, whenever there's a huge global problem, a huge global market springs up to solve it. This shift is creating a brand new PQC market that's projected to hit almost $2 billion by 2029. That's a massive jump, and it shows you just how seriously the world is taking this threat.
So we're really at a pivotal moment. The cryptographers, the mathematicians, they've done their job. They've delivered the tools we need to survive in the quantum age. The question is no longer a technical one. Now it's really a test of our collective will. Are we ready to do the hard work of rebuilding the very foundation of our digital lives?